always ask me how I stay so youthful. I tell them I eat well, get plenty of rest, and every third Sunday, I drink the blood of a virgin. Every third Sunday, I drink the blood of a virgin. And these days, they're getting harder and harder to find.
Many pieces of legislation. Common law is what guarantees us an ability to correct injustices. This coming year, I promise you, you will also hear debate over a number of pieces of legislation that will further erode our common law rights. And you have to get behind me on this, ladies and gentlemen, to stop this from going through. As Agenda 21 became more and more apparent to me, I began using the line in Parliament that government was now declaring war on its own citizens. And that goes back as far as 2008. This, of course, led me to being labelled a conspiracy theorist. But here we are now, openly talking about Agenda 21 and the ramifications we will see in a short period of time if this is not stopped in its tracks. Up and participate in the democratic process, and to do that you need to understand the parliamentary and political system that you are trying to rein in. In 1972, the Club of Rome published the alarmist Limits to Growth document, warning of worldwide overpopulation, the need for sustainable development. This was the beginning of the slow process of social engineering and programming people to accept that the planet is struggling to sustain life. On the 8th of October 1973, the New York Times reported a quote from Ted Turner, also Club of Rome. The social experiment in China under Chairman Mao's leadership is one of the most important and successful in human history. In 1987, Mikhail Gorbachev, also a member of Club of Rome, said, "We are moving toward a new world order, the world of communism, and we shall never turn off that road." He also quoted in 1996 Monetary and Economic Review on page 5, "The environmental crisis will be the international disaster that will unlock the new world order, one world government." In 1992 came the Earth Summit, which produced the document called the Earth Charter. This document was co-written by Maurice Strong, long-time globalist, elitist, member of Club of Rome, and Mikhail Gorbachev. Both Strong and Gorbachev stated that it was hoped that this document would be adopted as the new 10 Commandments, with environmentalism as the new one world religion. Out of this summit came Agenda 21. Ted Turner, who was also a member of the Club of Rome, was quoted as saying in 1996, "The total population of 250 to 300 million people is ideal. That means a reduction of 95% from present levels would be even more ideal." Anyone who abhors the China one-child policy is simply a dum-dum. In 1998, the Baltimore Sun reported on July the 7th, most of Ted Turner's first donation to the UN of $22 million went to programs that seek to stall population. Another goal of the depopulation process is that the upcoming generation will submit to sterilisation to save Mother Earth.
We begin tonight with a tale of two speeches, both from the same man, both from President Obama. One speech that could have been billed as a ballad to the Constitution, a proclamation of American values, a repudiation of the lawless behavior of the last presidential administration, and another speech announcing a radical new claim of presidential power that is not afforded by the Constitution and that has never been attempted in American history, even by George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. Remarkably, President Obama today made both of those speeches simultaneously. Standing inside the National Archives in front of the actual original Constitution, President Obama delivered a blistering critique of the Bush administration, in which he called their actions and their legacy literally a mess.
Our government made a series of hasty decisions. Poorly planned, haphazard approach. Too often, we set those principles aside as luxuries that we could no longer afford. Our government made decisions based on fear rather than foresight. The decisions that were made over the last 8 years established an ad hoc legal approach for fighting terrorism that was neither effective nor sustainable.
An ad hoc legal approach for fighting terrorism that was neither effective nor sustainable. Ouch. Then, moments later, he announced his own ad hoc legal approach for fighting terrorism. President Obama today proposed something new, something called prolonged detention. Doesn't sound that bad, right? Prolonged detention. Did you ever see the movie Minority Report? It was based on a Philip K. Dick short story. It came out in 2002. It starred Tom Cruise, remember? He played a police officer in something called the Department of Pre-Crime. Pre-crime is where people are arrested and incarcerated to prevent crimes that they have not yet committed.
Mr. Marks, by mandate of the District of Columbia Pre-Crime Division, I'm placing you under arrest for the future murder of Sarah Marks and Donald Dubinos. Take place today, April 22nd, at 0800 hours and 4 minutes.
No, I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything, but you're gonna. Future murder. Creepy, right? Putting somebody in jail not for what they've done, but for what you're very sure they're going to do?
There may be a number of people who cannot be prosecuted for past crimes. In some cases because evidence may be tainted, but who nonetheless pose a threat to the security of the United States.
We're not prosecuting them for past crimes, but we need to keep them in prison because of our expectation of their future crimes.
Al-Qaeda terrorists and their affiliates are at war with the United States, and those that we capture, like other prisoners of war, must be prevented from attacking us again.
Prevented. We will incarcerate people preventively. Preventive incarceration. Indefinite detention without trial. That's what this is. That's what President Obama proposed today, if you strip away the euphemisms. One civil liberties advocate told the New York Times today, quote, "We've known this was on the horizon for many years, but we were able to hold it off with George Bush. The idea that we might find ourselves fighting with the Obama administration over these powers is really stunning."
Perhaps the most startling thing that I can share with you is that all of the conspiracy theories that you've ever heard about one world government, about the UN takeover of the world, all of those conspiracies have now been laid to rest. There's nothing conspiratorial about it. It's all published.
If you live in the heartland of America, you have to listen up. While the nation was distracted with the Anthony Weiner drama, President Obama signed an executive order that will seize greater power over food, fiber, and energy in our vast countryside area.
It was during that study in which I began to realize that this was not an effort to protect the environment, but an effort to control you and I.
The world is going more and more deeply into a general breakdown crisis, which would probably result in the elimination, within a generation or two, of 2/3 of the present level.
This is the plan that I have repeatedly warned about, to take the tools of oppression used to tackle the coronavirus and use them all, lockdowns, forced business closures, exclusion zones, isolation. We heard Angela Marsden earlier, businesses shut down, isolation at home, all of that, all of those measures, including destroying private property rights and private income in order to tackle the climate crisis.
Now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate and rebalance our world.
Apart from being quite beautiful, she's a really good actress. And she's a pleasure to work with. One forgets that she's just 14 years old and she's really very mature.
I've got no strings, they're gonna be holding me down. Nobody controlling me now. Can somebody turn up the sound? I gotta be loud to be clear, to properly fight the puppeteers. Lyrical bombardier, verbally at the tip of the spear. I wanna make sure it's loud. They better be speakers that pound. For rocking and shaking the ground, we're praying a loss will be found. Some people keep buying these schemes, had one too many vaccines. We're gonna expose the machine, help others cut off their streams. They're making problems to solve, there never were issues at all. Hegelian dialectic rhetoric is their protocol. Redefining right and wrong, they wanna string you along. People are followers like sheeple to the pipe piper song. They're undermining what's real and they're dividing ideals. We're on the battlefield, so grab your sword and your shield. It's time we all take a stand and start to make some demands. Begin examining the masterminds, exposing their plans. They want you to do as you're told, identical clones in the fold. Systematically controlled to keep you mentally dull. They wanna control how you think, they want you blind and hoodwinked. To take two diametrically opposing sides to the brink. We're at the edge of our seats in confrontational teams. Disinformation that persuades us when we really want peace. They wanna control the two sides and then create a divide. While behind the scenes they're robbing every one of us blind. First they cause a panic, blowing up some problem. Next they get dramatic, creating a reaction. Then they get fanatics, pushing government solutions. Order out of chaos, controlling the confusion. First they cause a panic, blowing up some problem. Next they get dramatic, creating a reaction. Then they get fanatics, pushing government solutions. Order out of chaos, controlling the confusion. Black versus white, they want the streets against gays. They want girls against guys, divide the red and blue states. They're covering up the real battle and the war going on. The principalities behind it all to string them along. Legions of demons patrol, possessing so many souls. The masterminds of puppeteers, the ones behind the control. You better get in the fence, you can't just sit on the fence. Decide right now what side you're on and let the battle commence. Cause there's a line in the sand and yes the time is at hand. You can't stand between the canyon of the goat and the lamb. We've all been given free will to take the red and blue pill, to choose the path that we will take, decide what's actually real. Recognize the divide so you can see through the lies. It takes the time to think about where you'll end up when you die. Is that a question you ask? Is that an answer you know? Are you prepared to take your chances? Are you ready to go? So check your person right now, see who's controlling your strings. Are you a puppet like Pinocchio led by the machine? Have you bought